We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity.
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. As if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy.
Silence! The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. You have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
Don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts.
With Jason Bermas.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Good morning. Man, I look blown out. I am not happy with this. Not happy. I'm might have to go to the McCarthy video and go try to fix this from the sun coming in. I hate to do shop on the air, but boy, I didn't look like this when I first set up. I'm not getting impeached. I don't know that it matters that Joe Biden's getting impeached. I don't think that there's going to be any kind of real repercussions for any of his crimes throughout the years. Perhaps this is a way to get him to step down, but I just see the process now going at a pace that it would be before the 2024 elections. These people clearly do not want a true primary. When I say these people, I mean the establishment. It's out in the open. They don't want debates. Okay. So what is this? I think it's a lot of grandstanding and hopium. And I'm not a fan of McCarthy. I'm going to say that. I mean, I guess I could play the Fetterman reaction to the Biden impeachment inquiry. That's kind of funny, right? That's over the top because you got somebody that's just along the lines of the same kind of poopy pants puppet. You feel bad a little bit for Fetterman because he got kind of thrown into it as an establishment hack who is, semi-corrupt. But they're like, hey, man, you're going to be our corrupt senator. And then he stroked out. And they still said, no, you're going to be our corrupt senator. So his reaction, I read a bunch of people and what they said about it. And quite frankly, I didn't think it was like this is a goofy person anyway that has, some really bad physical ailments. And boy, his staffer can't wait to get him out of there. So let's lead with that. That's what we want to lead with.
Ask you about this news that Speaker McCarthy has formally launched an impeachment or has said he's going to.
Oh my God, really? Oh my gosh, it's devastating. Ooh, don't do it. Please don't do it. Oh no.
So yeah, is it childlike? Sure. But then you have Joe Biden. And this is where we're at with Joe Biden. Joe Biden doesn't run anything. Okay? It's pretty sad. Are you telling me we can't play this? There we go.
And let's see. I'm just following my orders here. Staff, is there anybody haven't spoken to? I ain't calling on you. I'm calling on, I said there are 5 questions. Anita, VOA.
So, I'm not calling on you. I got 5 questions. My staff runs the show. Again, you got to feel bad for the guy a little bit. I mean, not really, because he is, a multinational criminal. He is somebody that helped put us in the situation that we're currently in. And what we're going to do is we're going to play McCarthy, who I'm no fan of. I'm no fan of at all. And him talking about this inquiry. Look, I've said it before, I'll say it again. They had the Wiener laptop long before they had the Biden laptop. Where were all the arrests then? You had your Republican administration. I know there are so many people out there that think that somehow Trump's going to get in and this time around is going to be different. First of all, I don't think he's getting in. I think he's going to prison. And people really better get ready for that, because that's going to change things in a big way in this country. Then you wonder, okay, so what's the play now? I think the play is to outwardly put out as much of the corruption as they can, up to the point that there'll be any culpability or accountability on the Biden family end. But after they get Trump on the espionage case, and who knows, maybe I get this wrong. They get Trump on the espionage case and the documents, and they say to Biden, look, we don't want to bring this into a bigger deal. You're going to step down. And he steps down after they fix the election for him. That's really where I see this going. And, I mentioned the Wiener laptop. We're going to do this story a little bit later. Wiener was on Jesse Waters. I haven't watched it yet. I caught it in the tail end of me looking through things, and I really am interested to see this exchange. Again, never been in love with Waters, but there's a reason that they gave him that spot. Now, with this impeachment inquiry, Biden's White House will send a letter to CNN, New York Times, and other top outlets, demanding them to probe lies behind GOP's plan to impeach president. So, the attack dogs have already really set a narrative that Joe Biden doesn't have scandals. Joe Biden doesn't have dementia. Right? Like, slowly but surely, they're like, well, we don't know if he's going to make it to a second term. That he would be mentally fit or just fit in general at that age. That acting like he's fit in general now. I don't know how they can ramp up the propaganda anymore. And it does seem like there has been a slight turn, because even, a lot of the mainline left are super embarrassed at this whole situation, and they should be. And then they also have to downplay the amount of people that really are like Trump fanatics, or at least Trump supporters, or totally and completely ignore people like myself somewhere in the middle, saying whether you like the guy or not, what's happening to him is absolutely crazy and ludicrous and unprecedented and dangerous. I continue to say it, but it feels like Trump's only real crime is not committing enough war crimes and exposing the military-industrial complex and the mainstream media. That's really it. That is his true crime. He attacked the media, which are just liars beyond belief. It's kind of scary how much the mainstream media is allowed to bold-faced lie. And then Biden, I didn't even pull the lion dog-faced pony soldier clip up, the recent one. They're lion dog-faced pony soldiers. This is what they gave us, that they threw out there. I mean, again, Noor bin Laden calls it a humiliation ritual. And that doesn't, you betcha, it's humiliating. It's out of control. So let's go to McCarthy. I do want to remind everybody, the second hour today is exclusively over at rvmrumble.com. It's a conversation I had with Grand Theft World, Tony and Richard Andrew Grove. Really good one. Richard Andrew Grove always brings the heat, starts breaking out some big-time books on the research of false flags, of 9/11, and much, much more. I always have a great time with those two because they are so intelligent. They really do add to the conversation. So once again, that's going to be over at rvmrumble.com exclusively today. So you're going to want to go there after this first hour. And the first hour is only going to be, I believe, 50 minutes because the second hour runs 105 and it cuts off after 50. And we do math here. Now, believe it or not, I can still add. It's crazy, I know. It's kooky. It's nutty. It's kooky and nutty, just like Fetterman's reaction, right? Ooh. All right. I mean, but that's where we are. We're devolved completely. So let's get to McCarthy.
Here comes the speaker now. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
You know, in the months that we were gone and the weeks, House Republicans have uncovered serious and credible allegations into President Biden's conduct. Taken together, these allegations paint a picture of a culture of corruption. Now, here's what we know so far. Through our investigations, we have found that President Biden did lie to the American people about his own knowledge of his family's foreign business dealings.
Duh. And guess what? We knew that before he got put into office. We knew that before he got put into office. Let me repeat that again. We knew that before he got put into office. The Department of Justice knew that. You know why they knew that? Because they already had the laptop for a very, very long time. They were shielding and protecting him. So here we are in 2023 acting like it's uncovered. That's like me saying, I've uncovered this crazy thing in the sky that rises every morning. It's the sun. Only I want to call it the Jason. I mean, why not, right? Let's just call it the Jason. Everything's so ludicrous here. Oh, they just uncovered it.
Eyewitnesses have testified that the president joined on multiple phone calls and had multiple interactions. Dinners resulted in cars and millions of dollars into his son's and his son's business partners. We know that bank records show that nearly $20 million in payments were directed to the Biden family members and associates through various shell companies. The Treasury Department alone has more than 150 transactions involving the Biden family and other business associates that were flagged as suspicious activity by U.S. banks.
And that's just the Treasury Department, right? Because, the corruption runs deep. It runs deep.
Even a trusted FBI informant has alleged a bribe to the Biden family. Biden used his official office to coordinate with Hunter Biden's business partners about Hunter's role in Bermas, a Ukrainian energy company. Finally, despite...
Again, the Burisma stuff was out there. And I was talking about the Burisma stuff with Luke Radowski in 2017, 2018. So again, we're talking about 5-6 years ago. Forget about the laptop. The Burisma stuff was right there. Outward corruption. Joey Business laughing about it. Up on stage with CFR head Richard Haas. Come on. My goodness. I get it. This is the press conference. This is where we're bringing it all out. But think about how long the public has known this. Think about how long a guy like myself, I'm not that bright. I don't have any more resources, everybody, than you guys have. Okay? And I knew all this stuff. So look, we're going to have to take a pause here. We're going to come back. We got to go to break. I need you to thumbs it up. subscribe, and share. Let's get 100 thumbs up, at least on the Tubins. And remember, the second hour today exclusively over at rvmrumble.com with Grand Theft World. You're not going to want to miss it. Here we go with a word from our sponsor.
We interrupt today's programming to bring unfortunate news. Biden's dangerous plan for a digital dollar is underway. Don't be fooled. It won't benefit you. So take action now. The Federal Reserve's phased deployment of FedNow began on July 1st, 2023. Be prepared. This may catch many off guard and put your hard-earned assets in jeopardy. But here's the good news. There's a simple legal tax loophole to opt out of the digital dollar. Speak to someone at American Alternative Assets for a free wealth protection guide and discover how to safeguard your wealth with gold and silver IRAs against a failing dollar and volatile markets. Dial 833, the number 2 USA Gold. Yes, call now, 833-287-2465. This invaluable guide provides precise steps to transfer your IRA or 401k into precious metals without any tax consequences. Don't let Biden force you into using the government's new digital dollar. Call 833, the number 2 USA Gold. Yes, call now, 833-287-2465. Act swiftly, 833-287-2465.
Man, it has just been a tech nightmare lately. Still having the issues with this. It looks like, Beefy over here is going to have to give way to Baby, my mini machine. We're going to have to try it from there. I don't know whether that's going to do anything or not. I'm not sure if this is a hardware issue, etc. But even today on Rumble, I'm seeing in my comment section that it says error playing on Rumble. I totally see how that happened. This morning, again, I'm doing my Rumble thing. Everything seems cool. On my back end, it says it's live. We're streaming, but it was acting really funky, funkalunky. I mean, come on, I can't be that important. Like, it can't be. Who knows? Maybe I got malware all over here. I guess you'd never find out if it was advanced. Anyway, I will rectify that. In fact, in the case that if that happened with Rumble, I'll repost the first hour because I was going to post the second hour later. It's just a pain in my arness. Just more stuff that I got to do. I'm talking shop. I'm acting like Alex Jones. I don't even have a staff. They're great. I love them. Let's get back to McCarthy because I want to have time for Waters as well. And I got a bunch of stories that I also want to hit. Because, look, we try to cover a broad range of things and a lot of things, again, that are not covered in the rest of the alternative media. The rest of the alternative media and the rest of the media is going to be just chopping it up about the Biden impeachment inquiry. There's going to be a lot of noise out there. So in that regard, you're kind of getting, I guess, my take on what everybody else is going to talk about. But again, I'm looking at this as no real repercussions. Some questions being asked, total limited hangout, the precedent being set for Biden to be taken out, for him to step down so that there's not another inquiry or something to do with the documents case. But again, let's see if McCarthy mentions the documents. That'd be really interesting if he did. I'm not sure that he's going to.
Here comes the speaker now. Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
Despite these serious allegations, it appears that the president's family has been offered special treatment by Biden's own administration. Treatment that not otherwise would have received if they were not related to the president. These are allegations of abuse of power, obstruction, and corruption. And they warrant further investigation by the House of Representatives. That's why today I am directing our House committee to open a formal impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. This logical next step will give our committees the full power to gather all the facts and answers for the American public. That's exactly what we want to know, the answers. I believe the president would want to answer these questions and allegations as well. This effort will be led by Chairman James Comer at the Committee on Oversight, in coordination with Chairman Jim Jordan for Judiciary Committee and Chairman Jason Smith on Ways and Means. Now, I do not make this decision lightly. And regardless of your party or who you voted for, these facts should concern all Americans. The American people deserve to know that the public offices are not for sale, and that the federal government is not being used to cover up the actions of a politically associated family.
It's kind of what they do. It's kind of what they do. See, I mean, this stuff is so milk toast, man. This is so milk toast. I don't know how people can like McCarthy or get behind him. I've seen him say a couple things that are baseline. Where's the beef? Where's all those videos we were supposed to get on January 6th? Where's the investigation into the pipe bomber? Okay? Where's the vocalization throughout the party, Kevin, led by you, that you've got a poopy pants, dementia-ridden puppet in office that obviously isn't medically fit to be out and about?
Now, I would encourage the president and his team to fully cooperate with this investigation in the interests of transparency. We are committed to getting the answers for the American public. Nothing more, nothing less. We will go wherever the evidence takes us. Thank you.
Total bull. That's it? That's the whole shebango? That is weak sauce. That's super weak sauce. Think about all the things he didn't say. You mentioned Burisma and family corruption. Like, that would be light podcast work 5 years ago. And just in mentioning it in passing, what is this crap? I mean, people are going to tell me that you've got faith that, like, this is the dog and pony show, everybody. Buckle up. The impeachment of Joe Biden, what are you going to really have? You're going to have, I don't know, 5 or 6 people that might bring up something of significance. Okay? Barely going to be discussed in the mainstream. The spin is going to be out of control for this guy, even though you look at him and he's like, he's literally a grumpy old man on stage telling you he's not answering questions his staff hasn't approved. And he's barely able to even do that. Shuffling around. It's so wild. We are in super, super wild times, everybody. Super wild times. All right, let's hit some of these stories. I do want to nail some of these. And then we're going to go to that Jesse Waters, Anthony Weiner video. Okay, so Oprah Winfrey, she is shocked by the backlash and online attacks over the fund she started with Dwayne Johnson to help victims of the Maui fires. It's sad we're in this state in our country. Okay? So when you look at this, people are just fed up with Oprah. And they're fed up with celebrities that just kind of put their finger in the wind, Rock. Hey, Dwayne, here's the deal, man. Like, when you backed Joe Rogan, going, hey, Joe Rogan said some things I think are really interesting, and then you turn your back on him and totally flip the script after pressure, that's it for you. Most people don't like that. Joe's the biggest thing in podcasting, no matter all the media hate and spin against him. Biggest thing, bar none. I mean, moved from the censorship platform on YouTube after he was already being suppressed. And YouTube embraced him, his numbers would have been over the top. Over the top. And now you get some clippings that still do relatively well. But, it's that freedom of speech versus freedom of reach, right, Elon? It's funny. I'm not sure if I mentioned this aspect of Corbett and the Last American Vagabond, Ryan Christian, talking on the eve of the 9/11 anniversary. But he said, look, I have to kind of come to the grips. And he's like, I'm not complaining about it, but it's just the realization that none of my videos will ever have millions of views again. They will never have that reach. And James Corbett did videos on the banking system, what I would refer to as the predator class, dynasties, family dynasties such as the Rockefeller. I mean, just groundbreaking stuff. The Federal Reserve System, you name it. Groundbreaking stuff. And he was able to get millions of views. And now, through suppression, and he realized there's just no way I will ever have that reach and audience again. And really the only way that he could ever have that reach and audience again is somehow if we do take back of humanity. It's not just going to be the system in the United States, but it's got to be beyond that. To me, it is a good thing that a lot more people are seeing, through facades like this. Oprah is part of the good guys club. The one in a bid to curb overpopulation with her buddy Billy Gates and Mikey Bloomberg, and Warren Buffett and Georgie Soros, Rockefeller in there too, Teddy Turner. Like I get it. You got a big smile, pristine blue sky in the background. You're as celebrity as it gets. I see what you're saying there. But not anymore. So you shouldn't be shocked. There is a large backlash of the Oprah Winfreys, of the Ellen DeGenereses, of the phony entertainment people out there. Period. And that's the other thing. In this climate and this culture on both sides, you can be canceled at a moment's notice. Look at Jimmy Fallon, man. Jimmy Fallon, as establishment and bootlicking as it gets. And I used to think Fallon was funny, man. Like younger SNL stuff, talk show host stuff. Pretty funny guy. Upstate New York guy on top of it. But he just got torn apart and thrown to the wolves from Rolling Stone magazine, right? Ellen, one of the most popular television shows out there. Talk about establishment. Remember those dance moves Ellen had? With Michelle Obama and just about everybody else? Gone. Off. You're out of here. You're done. And believe me, that is devastating to those people. Because the money and the power is one thing. But they really crave the attention and the fame and honestly, to be beloved. So this is a big blow to Oprah. I mean, generationally, Oprah as a brand is huge. And that brand is crumbling. Just like Gates' brand is over. Okay? I thought this was kind of funny. MAGA is the leading red flag for 18 to 34-year-old women for reading, while reading is the biggest turn-on for both genders. It's ridiculous. That's bullshit, right? Like, everything about that is bullshit. First of all, to 18 to 34-year-old women, most of the time, first of all, physical attraction is number one. The books, it's just like, you make me laugh. Maybe you get a long-term relationship out of the make me laugh and that sort of thing. But it's just so stupid. Now, I don't know who they're necessarily polling here, but I'm sure if you're going to college students and that type of area, yeah, MAGA is going to be a turn off on the thing. 18 to 34-year-olds, but that's because a lot of the 34-year-old women at this point, they've been brainwashed into thinking it's okay that they don't have kids and that they're not married, etc. And on the flip side of that, the ones that do have kids, in a lot of cases, aren't even with their babies' fathers, just because of the culture that we live in. And I do mean fathers, because there were probably several fathers if they went down that route. Joe Rogan, also a big turnoff to the millennials. Again, he's one of the biggest things out there, but that's what they're trying to tell you. These things are always so goofy. They're trying to paint a picture of what norms are and what reality is. And that picture is absolutely ludicrous. We're going to take a break. I want you to thumbs it up, subscribe, and share. Remember, folks, the second hour exclusively at rvmrumble.com, rvmrumble.com, or their Rumble of Red Voice Media. And that will be with Grand Theft World, Tony and Richard Andrew Grove. But we'll be back after this word from Mike Lindell.
When I invented MyPillow, my passion was to help each and every one of you. And 20 years later, all of your support is what keeps us going. Because of you, we've been able to create thousands of USA jobs and help millions get the best sleep ever. To thank you, my employees and I are bringing you a limited edition MyPillow. The Giza Elegance MyPillow is made with my patented adjustable fill, the most amazing cotton, and a 2-inch pipe gusset. It has 4 custom loft levels, machine washable and dryable, and you get my 60-day money-back guarantee and 10-year warranty.
Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get your limited edition 20th anniversary MyPillow queen size. Retails for $69.98, now only $19.98. That's right, get a queen size MyPillow for only $19.98.
From all of us here at MyPillow, thanks America!
We are back. You know, I got somebody in the comment section asking me ludicrous questions about Alex Jones, but that's all right. Why not address some of the Johnny nonsense out there, right? I mean, we're already talking about Johnny nonsense and perception. And within the quote-unquote truth movement, listen, there's just a lot of hokey Johnny nonsense, over-the-top stuff. That doesn't mean that Jones gets it right all the time, by the way, or InfoWars is perfect. There is no outlet that's perfect. Again, Schroyer getting 60 days in prison. He's talking about taking it all the way to the Supreme Court. I'd love to see it get there because clearly he's been persecuted for speech. That's exactly what's happened. When I was in the Reawaken America tour last time, I was in the speaker's room, which is connected to the media room, so it's actually pretty easy to get to back and forth. And that's where I spent most of my time. I'm talking to this woman and says something about Alex Jones. She goes, "He's Mossad, right?" I go, "No, he's not." I'm like, that's the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard in my life. And I've seen all the videos and the websites, and it's just over the top. And that original Jones is Mossad, he's an Israel lover, this and that. Listen, Jones is going to say what Jones is going to say. He certainly overlapped his position on Israel from negative to positive, et cetera, back and forth. Obviously, I think that you've got to take every instance and you can't just label an entire nation state one way or the other. You got to look at the leadership. You got to look at the people. You got to look at the politics. There's a lot going on there. Okay, that's one thing. The Bill Hicks thing. Some people actually believe that he's not Mossad or he's not FBI or CIA. He's Bill Hicks. It's all a play act on top of it. He's not Bill Hicks. I've spent time with his dad. His dad did my teeth originally. I spent a lot of time with his father, actually. I loved David Jones. The whole David Jones toothpaste bit, real bit. Like, David Jones was a legit dentist and a genuinely nice human being. Now, what was in there? Oh, did Jones work for Michael Aquino? Now, I've never heard that one before. I've heard, is Jones Stratfor, which is like a private intelligence firm out in Austin. No, I do not believe Jones is Stratfor. Did Jones work for Michael Aquino at any point? No. Not even a little bit. From what I mean, unless something was going on way before I got there 15 years ago. And I met Jones in 2006, by the way. But I didn't start working for InfoWars until I believe 2008 is where we did Fabled Enemies together. So yeah, no, 2008 sounds about right because we got it done in the summer before the 7th anniversary of 9/11. For those that don't know who Michael Aquino is kind of this over-the-top figure who was in military intelligence, an open Satanist. I believe he headed up the Temple of Set. You can watch several 80s talk shows where Michael Aquino is actually on the panel. And one of them, Gunderson, is on a panel with him, which is very, very bizarre to me because Aquino, in the Franklin scandal and the Franklin cover-up, is accused of some very heinous things against children, period. I mean, just some of the worst. So, no association with Jones and Aquino, as I know. With that being said, we got limited time here. We only got about 15 minutes left in the first hour. Again, the second hour over at rvmrumble.com with Grand Theft World. You're going to want to check that out. By the way, haven't even plugged it once yet. Got to plug these things. redvoicemedia.com/uncensored. redvoicemedia.com/uncensored. That's how you get the 2 extra interviews every single week before everybody else. But if you want the premium after the fact, just follow me on Twitter. I just posted 6 premium interviews, including Jay Dyer, Richard Bartlett, Chris Sky, Mindy Robinson. I think John Fleetwood might be in there. We might have played that in the regular show. All great stuff. All great stuff. And you help support the broadcast. If you do it, you get it before everybody else. And you get a 2-parter. It's only 1 interview this week, but it's Noor bin Laden, and it's very interesting and insightful. So, look, I want to hit these other stories, but I also want to do this one. We got to do this one. Anthony Weiner, Jesse Waters, the sound off. Let's do it.
The Democratic Party's a mess. They've mismanaged our money, our border, and our streets. Most Democrats won't defend their performance on this show, but one brave Democrat did. And we believe in second chances. Former New York Congressman Anthony Weiner joins me now. So, Congressman, thanks for coming on.
It's my pleasure. Congratulations on getting the show. Good luck.
Thank you very much. I'm going to need all the help I can get.
Now, are you kidding? You're a natural at this.
I dislike this already. We believe in second chances. He called them brave. Second chances and brave. Not a good look, Jesse.
You've buttered me up already, so I'm going to be a little bit nicer. Not really. Why do the Democrats have such a problem with crime?
We don't like crime.
Doesn't seem like you don't like it. Seems like you love it.
It's Democrats. They're the ones that created the cops program to more cops on the street. Crime came down dramatically.
You defunded the police, and it's a disaster everywhere.
What do you mean? Reduce the funding of police?
Yeah, you defunded the police in a bunch of these metropolitan areas. It's a mess.
Well, defund is kind of hot. That kind of implies you stop funding them. I mean, they're big agencies. Some of them took cuts. Education took cuts. A lot of things took cuts during COVID.
Crime's up. It's crazy out here. Would you go in the subway here?
Crime's actually down in New York.
Well, it's down from what? Last year, which was almost an all-time high.
You think Rudy Giuliani did a good job against crime?
He did a decent job from where he came in from.
It's 40% lower than it was in the year he left.
Yeah, but it was so...
It's 40% lower than the year he left. I don't know that that's true. If you're deciding not to prosecute people, then is that really true? And if then you're not enforcing the laws, is that true? Look, Giuliani, the year he left, okay, whatever. I don't like him. I want to make it super clear I don't like him. But if we're going to sit here and act like he didn't change New York City, he did. He really did. He put down, I mean, some people were very upset with it, but he definitely put way more police on the streets.
Low when everything was coming up. And then in 2020, 2021, 2022, this year, things aren't good, Anthony. The guys are like letting out criminals. Bail reform's crazy. People are getting pushed into the subway. Would you go on the subway?
I do it all the time. It's not a very substantive critique, but crime is actually down, but I believe it's too high.
Okay, we can play those games all day. You have these DAs that just let people go. Why is that happening?
Well, frankly, DAs all over have the judgment. They have to decide what justice is and whether they want to charge something or not. But
they have to decide what justice is. That's not true. They're selectively enforcing crimes and selectively prosecuting crimes. It's ridiculous.
Crime is down, so I think they're doing
an okay job. So you're happy with crime? You think they're doing an okay job with crime in New York and all over the country?
Crime is too high.
Okay. What about immigration? What is the border plan under the Biden administration?
Well, it's the same laws as they were under Trump. Did you like those?
They're not being enforced. They just let people right in.
Well, the asylum laws that you don't seem to like were the same laws under Trump. What do you do about it?
They have an app.
Where was the
For
Trump?
illegals, you can just make an appointment to break into the country.
Actually, the asylees are here legally. You know that, right?
They got hacked by the cartels, the app. Now it's like the entire third world is coming.
Let's do one thing at a time.
over.
Do you know the asylees are here legally as part of the law?
I understand that.
That was the
but
Trump-era laws that are still in place.
You can still repel these waves of illegal immigrants.
More people have been stopped under Biden than under Trump.
That's because more are coming over.
Correct. More people are trying to get in. But by the way, you can roll.
I mean, look, I really despise Anthony Weiner. I don't even like that he's getting a venue here. But the truth is, I mean, he's not lying about the asylum laws and that they did change the laws that anybody can just seek asylum here. Like they can just say they're politically persecuted. And once again, we had those type of things in place earlier on, but they were very, very different. Okay? And you actually had to prove that you were being politically persecuted. There was a standard there. It wasn't just come across. But these are the semantical games professional politicians, aka liars, play. And media pundits like Jesse are really just playing right into it.
Roll back migrant caravans. You guys practically trademarked that phrase. That was during Trump, right?
There's been caravans. We agree. We all need to stop the caravans. But you have no plan. It's been, what, 3 or 4 million people that have come across.
Who was it that got up and walked away from the compromise on trying to figure out immigration? It was you guys, not us.
That deal blew up, all right?
No,
but now that there was a wall...
The Republicans walked away.
Anthony, there's walls that went up, and Biden is now cutting holes in the walls for antelopes.
Hey, 450 miles of wall paid by who? Who paid for that?
Antelopes
Who paid for that
are
wall?
going south,
I just want
and
to make
migrants
sure.
are going
Jesse,
north.
who paid for the wall?
Okay. Mexico paid for the wall through tariffs.
One for us.
Through tariffs. Listen, we can debate that who paid for it all.
Department of Defense
this country is paying for it.
We built it on protected lands, and now we have to cut holes in them because the law was violated.
No,
this is
you're
what
cutting
happened.
holes for antelopes, Anthony.
I mean, again, talk about being disingenuous. They broke the law by putting up walls to stop migrants, to stop people from illegally coming into the country. And now they've had, I mean, he's gleeful about it. Now they had to cut holes in there for the wildlife.
Let's be real about this.
Now, listen.
What is the plan to stop the migration?
I think you've got to reform the immigration laws.
Why can't they do it?
They're a mess.
Why can't we do it?
There you go.
Why can't we do it?
There you go. Because the Republicans have walked away from having legitimate conversations.
So it's the Republicans' fault.
Who runs the House of Representatives right now?
Okay, so they can't do a deal?
Hold on, let me say it. Did Donald Trump have the House and the Senate and the White House for the first 2 years he was in? Where was the Donald Trump Immigration Reform Act of 17 or 18?
There was very little illegal immigration.
Oh, was it?
Under Donald Trump. That second year there was a pop, and then they controlled it.
Roll the
and
tape.
then it
Migrant caravans under Trump. But these are the same laws.
You smashed 2 years in a row of records.
Hold on a second.
2 years of records in a row.
Let's go chronologically. You said, why isn't anything happening? Did anything happen in 17 and 18 when President Trump had the control of Congress? Where is the Donald Trump Immigration Reform Act? This law that lets asylees in now was
Anthony,
was true.
It's a disaster. They're sleeping on the streets all over the place. They're going to bankrupt the city. Your Democrat mayor even said it. They're destroying the city.
He's the Democratic mayor. You left out this Democratic.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll watch my.
I don't want to call you. I don't want to call your guy the Republic.
Let me get something else. The trans thing. What's going on here?
Yeah,
we
you
got
guys.
girls
That's working well for you.
That's working.
It's working for your guy DeSantis real well. You keep sucking it on that. The American people
you have
really.
Kids, right?
The American. I do have a son, Jordan.
So if your son Jordan, do you think he should compete and be in a woman's locker room in high school?
I don't know. You guys say you're conservatives. You really think the government should be involved in this?
I want you involved as a parent.
100%. Let's keep Ron DeSantis out of it. Let's keep the legislators out of it. And to be honest with you, let's keep the TV hosts out of it. I'm not sure we trust them to make the policy.
I mean, talk about disingenuous. Aren't you Republicans? You want to keep the government out of it. Keep the government out of it. No, law enforcement. Forget about the government. Law enforcement should be involved if you're mutilating children. Period. Like, I mean, and law enforcement is an arm of the government. It's the original government. It's why when I talk to like the anarchists out there, I can't take them seriously because you need law enforcement. And I go, look, man, even if you went all the way back in this country, what do we have? We had elected sheriffs. And that was the government, because you need law enforcement. You need some semblance of order. Boy, I don't like Anthony Weiner. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to wrap this up. Second hour coming up over at rvmrumble.com. You're not going to want to miss it. Here we go.
Attention Americans, breaking news. Biden's dangerous plan for a digital dollar is underway. Don't be fooled. It won't benefit you. Take action now. The Federal Reserve phased deployment of FedNow began on July 1st, 2023. Be prepared. This may catch many off guard. Your hard-earned assets are in jeopardy. But there's a simple legal tax loophole to opt out of the digital dollar. Reach out to American Alternative Assets for a free wealth protection guide and discover how to safeguard your wealth with gold and silver IRAs against a failing dollar and volatile markets. Visit protectfrombiden.com. This invaluable guide provides precise steps to transfer your IRA or 401k into precious metals without any tax consequences. Be smart. Don't let Biden force you into using the government's new digital dollar. Visit protectfrombiden.com to get your free guide and get started. Again, that's protectfrombiden.com.
So let's get back to it. In about 4 minutes, guys, we're going to head over to rvmrumble.com so you can catch the entire segment with myself and Grand Theft World.
Oh, I'm going to begin it. I want these girls and these boys with separate locker rooms. Why can't we
totally have that position? I don't. My thing is, I am a.
What do you mean that position?
I am a.
That's a normal position.
Jesse,
what's your position?
That's right. You just said that, and I get a chance to answer.
Go ahead.
Jesse, you believe, and Ron DeSantis and people like him think that the government and only the government can figure these things out. You know what? Parents, school boards, leave it to them. Butt out a little bit.
School boards, get out of here.
These school boards aren't doing a good job.
Oh, wait a minute. That's not your school board. Let the school board. Where do you live, pal?
I live in New Jersey.
Okay, your school board, go down there. You can make those policies. It should be run locally. I thought Republicans believed in local control of education.
We do, but we're looking for a little leadership.
Are you for Ron DeSantis?
And that's a total disingenuous argument, because this is all being funded through federal dollars. Drag queen story time, federal dollars, the tax dollars. It's not local, like also state taxes. We pay for most of this stuff. The United Nations is very much behind this curriculum.
Not provided
from Ron DeSantis.
Ron
Who's at 3% in the polls. This is really working for him.
Ron DeSantis believes that boys should not compete against girls. What does the president
Ron DeSantis is running for the president.
What does the president
He
believe?
believes he's got bigger fish to fry.
Okay, does the president believe boys should compete against girls?
The president doesn't believe much, because the president isn't there mentally. The president is on his last legs. The president was installed.
He's got bigger fish to fry. He doesn't believe in these issues.
Okay, I think protecting children from peepers in locker rooms.
That's fair enough.
And protecting women's sports is a pretty big issue.
But don't
He's
you
going to
agree,
go down hard because of that.
Really? So far, Ron DeSantis made that his raison d'etre.
I hate even hearing Ron DeSantis, but Ron DeSantis out of Anthony Weiner's mouth is just, ugh. It's gross sauce.
And what has it done for him?
Joe Biden has no control over this economy. We have people now, their paychecks are being chewed up by inflation. This guy spent trillions of dollars. Where did the money go?
The money went for supporting
Where did it go,
cities
Anthony?
like COVID response.
Where did the money go?
Well, frankly, look, if you're concerned about the economy, the inflation rate was 9% a year ago. It's 3.5% today. Is that progress?
It's not 3.5%, Anthony. Eggs are like twice as much. Steaks twice as much.
Are we not relying? The same people said it was
almost over $4 a gallon.
Gases are going up now. I mean, listen.
People are getting hurt.
You're right. The Saudis are jacking up energy prices. Maybe the Donald Trump son-in-law with his $3 billion of money should go ask them for a favor.
Do you like windmills off the coast, Anthony?
I don't have a strong view on windmills off the coast. I do believe I do prefer, however, getting my energy from wind rather than getting it from the.
So you're a big.
It's just, you look at, where is it? I had something on the inflation right here too. It's crazy. That's the letter one. That's Germany. Here it is right here. CPI report today. August inflation likely rose due to energy prices. Live updates. They're shutting off the power. And the 3% is on top of the 9%. The 9% was really 30%. The 3% is really another 10%. And Waters isn't wrong when he's talking about a 40 to 50% increase. Folks, that's going to do it for the first hour. The second hour is coming up only on RVMRumble.com. So hit it, Krista.